Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. According to Ekram Corner, Arsenal have decided to monitor Joao Felix's situation. He has told Atletico Madrid that he will not be trying to play for them football after the World Cup. He wants to leave in January. So Arsenal are in there trying to monitor the situation. Can they sign him? What will the price be? And probably can we get to an agreement with George Mendes, who we know is an agent that really has a good reputation and a very good relationship with Arsenal as well. Now, Ben Jacobs as well has been speaking about Mikhail Modric and Yuri Tielemans. Has said the situation between Modric and Tielemans is quite very similar. Modric wants Arsenal, not Newcastle, and Newcastle are not front runners to sign him. Yuri Tielemans also is in the same, situation, just like Mikhail Modric. Both of them are still waiting for Arsenal to make official offers, but both players are convinced about the project. Michael Bridge has also confirmed that Arsenal will sign 2 players in January on Sky Sports. That is a very huge push because we've been hearing of these rumors about Arsenal wanting 2 or 3, but now it's coming from Sky Sports that Arsenal will sign 2, but they will not panic in January because they feel they have done so far so good. And the biggest mistake we've done in terms of letting a player go is actually not Serge Gnabry. The biggest mistake right now is Yunus Musa, having a very good season in Spain with Valencia. And in my opinion, if I were to sign one player just to back up Thomas Partey or even to replace him, it would be the American Yunus Musa. So how did we let him go? We're going to be discussing that in this video. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 300 likes. Subscribe to the podcast. We're very close to 60,000 subscribers, and definitely the channel is growing at a very fast pace. Now, Ekram Corner has just confirmed that Joao Felix has told Atletico Madrid he doesn't want to play with them football again after the World Cup. And this is a situation we've talked about before on the channel. I think the relationship between Joao Felix and the manager Diego Simeone is actually one of the worst. Look, I don't think it is beyond irreplaceable. I think they can actually mend it. But currently, Joao Felix feels it is unfair that he's actually not playing football. And Simeone, for any reason in the world that is not playing Joao Felix, it is actually, I don't understand. Now, I want to say this. Joao Felix, for me, is one of the most talented players out there that are actually underperforming, given their levels and talent. And he needs to change environment. It's as simple as that. I think with Joao Felix, Alex Sanchez, such players, it's about the environment. The moment they change environment, the moment they go to a place where they're given the freedom, the liberty to do whatever they want and how they want to do it, they're definitely going to become, stars. Now, I watched him in that Portugal game that they played, and I watched his runs and I watched his ability on the ball. My mind has never changed, and I'm not changing my mind ever on Joao Felix, one of the best players in the world, one of the most gifted players in the world, so far that we have seen. Still very young, only 22. It was a mismatch between him and Atletico Madrid. I think we can all agree it was just a mismatch. It's one of those transfers that even the agent knows this should never happen. So Arsenal monitoring the situation to see if we can sign him. We do want a winger in January, and Joao Felix probably could be that guy. He can play also down through the middle as a false 9, or you can even easily convert him as into a 9. Can play as a 10, can play as a 7, and can bring a lot of improvement to this Arsenal side. But one problem I have with this deal is, can it be done in January? You look at the other clubs interested. Bayern Munich is interested, and I've seen some credible sources saying that Bayern could be a real destination for Joao Felix. That is, if they can agree on a deal in January. Manchester United, Manchester City, Real Madrid. Those are the clubs interested. We might not be able to beat them in terms of competition and signing the player. And also the other thing I think about this deal, when I think about this deal, is, can Joao Felix think of himself playing for Arsenal right now? And look, Mikel has already said you want to have players that are 100% committed. You want to have players that are 100% sure this is where they want to be. And for Joao Felix, playing for Atletico Madrid right now, he wants an upgrade. Bayern would be an upgrade, Madrid would be an upgrade, and Manchester City would be an upgrade. Probably Liverpool as well could be an upgrade, because for me, in all meaning of the word, in all sense of the word, I feel Liverpool are really bigger than Atletico Madrid. So let's wait and see. Talk to me in the comment section about Joao Felix. Do you like him? Would you love Arsenal to splash the money on him? After all, Mikhail Modric is 100 million euros, and Joao Felix is also about the same price. So if we were to spend 100 million euros on either Mikhail Modric or Joao Felix, who would it be for you? Would it be Joao Felix? Would it be Mikhail Modric? In my opinion, I would go for Joao Felix. I think if I'm going to spend 100 million anyway on Mikhail Modric or Joao Felix, almost in the same age bracket, I think Joao Felix has more experience playing for Benfica and then for Atletico Madrid, has played on this European stage for longer. He's got the experience at a very, very young age, and I think he can do more. Apart from Mikhail Modric's ability to dribble, take on players, gather audiences, and create spaces for other players, I feel like Joao Felix can actually do more. The more I see him play in less restricted environments, like on the Portuguese national team, the more I believe that he can actually give us more. But anyway, let's wait and see if Arsenal can actually pull that one off. It's not a bad deal, in my opinion. If you get it done, if you can get it done, it's a very, very good deal. Ben Jacobs has just confirmed that Mikhail Modric does not want to join Newcastle, just like Yuri Tielemans. Now, Newcastle, we know they would want to strengthen in January. They're looking at a couple of options, and I think the one club that will give a lot of credit when it comes to how they've handled their transfer business since they got the money, the signing of the likes of Alexander Isak, Steven Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, they've actually done very, very well. Now they're monitoring Yuri Tielemans. Right from last summer, I think they had the thought, if we could get Yuri Tielemans, it would be a very, very good opportunity. But they know deep down that the player wants to play for Arsenal, and they come in as second best. They come in as second favorites. They are also now keen on signing Mikhail Modric. And I say this, that if Arsenal want to get Mikhail Modric, we've got to be quick. It's not about he either joins us or no one else. It's actually about he either joins us or he actually joins someone else. Now, according to Ben Jacobs, the player does not want to play for Newcastle. They're not his priority, but it doesn't say that he will not sign for them if Arsenal if the Arsenal deal doesn't actually happen. Now, what I know with Modric is desperate. He's actually kind of slightly breached his relationship and trust with Shakhtar Donetsk. He's come out in the media and he said, I want to leave. If this club doesn't want to let me go, I'm going to be very disappointed. I want to go. I want to move on. And when a player says such words, it doesn't leave the relationship with his employers or bosses at the same stage. So he will be desperate to move on after saying those words. I think he said those words trusting Arsenal to come back in for him. I think we will go back, but we will not try to pay more than 50 million euros for him. And that's where clubs like Newcastle come in. In my opinion, if Newcastle do bid around 60 million euros for Mikhail Modric, they'll definitely get him. I don't see how Modric rejects Newcastle if the Arsenal deal doesn't happen. I don't see how Newcastle will wait until the summer for more competition on this deal. So for me, Newcastle are pole poised. It's all about Arsenal right now. It's very similar to what happened with Yuri Tielemans in the summer. Now, we will come back for Yuri Tielemans in January. We will go in for Mikhail Modric in January as well. But the question is, are we going to fight until the last minute? In the summer, we didn't actually do that. We didn't fight until the last minute, and that's why Yuri Tielemans didn't sign. So we have another we have another problem. A player that wants to play for us, a deal that is waiting for us to bid and do it. So will we go ahead and actually do it? That is the question we have on the table. Now, Sky Sports as well, Michael Bridge has confirmed that Arsenal are not under any pressure in January. They do understand the problem they have in terms of squad depth. They will try to sign some players in January. And he says they're looking at bringing in 2. Not enough, in my opinion, but actually not that bad. So Michael Bridge on Sky Sports just said that Arsenal will try to sign 2 players in January, but they do not have any problems. They are very much aware of the situation they are in, the position they occupy on the table, and what they need to do to actually keep on winning and staying on top of the table. I mean, if you want to stay on top of the table, it's all about keeping on winning. But what I want to say here with this number, first was Fabrizio Romano. Then we talked, I think it was Ben Jacobs who said Arsenal want 2 or 3. Then we had it from ESPN, James Ole, that Arsenal want to sign 2 or 3, and now it's Sky. The only credible source remaining to confirm that we will try to sign 2-3 players in January is The Athletic, and I know David Onstein very, very soon will be coming out and confirming that we want to do. But remember, he said in the summer that when he looked at what our summer business was, he was actually shocked. After signing around 4-5 players last summer, this previous summer, we were also trying to sign 6-7 players as well. So in January, I think it's going to be more of a continuation. Where did we end in the summer? Can we begin from there? Can we start off from there? That's what it's going to be. But look, if it's 2 players, for me, get a midfielder, get someone to occupy the forward line, probably in a second number 9, probably someone who is very versatile, as JOA FELIX is. Actually, I feel we don't need to sign a striker and a winger. Like, if you're going to spend around 50 million euros on Mikhailo Modric, and then we spend an extra 30 million euros on a player like Taremi, or 10 million euros, if we were to put it into easy perspective, for Marcus Thuram, that's around 60 million euros. Why don't we sign a player like JOA FELIX? FELIX can actually sign for us at around 80 million euros. But if you sign JOA FELIX, you have someone to back not really to sit on the bench, but someone to push Gabriel Martinelli. You have someone to push Saka. Then you have someone to push Gabriel Jesus as well. Now, the problem with JOA FELIX would be, if he comes in at Arsenal, does he start right away? Does he instantly go ahead of Martinelli and Saka in pecking order? I'm afraid to say this, but I think he does. And if he signs for us, there is a huge opportunity. There is a huge chance that Saka would feel a little bit. I'm no longer the guy, and his contract situations could actually hit a huge blow. But I got no problems with JOA FELIX, unless you guys do, right? Unless really you guys do. Now, I wanted to speak about our biggest transfer regret right now. It's not Serge Gnabry, because after getting Gabriel Martinelli and seeing what he can do and what Saka has become into right now, I think Bayern could have Serge Gnabry. We will have Saka and Martinelli, and we will actually do all right. But one of the biggest now transfer regrets Arsenal have is selling or letting go of Yunus Musa in 2019. Now, I'm a very big fan of the La Liga, of the Spanish La Liga, and actually, I've seen Yunus Musa. I was about to do a video. I think it was around 2 weeks ago. Why Arsenal should sign Yunus Musa from Valencia? And guess what, guys? This boy just came from Arsenal. This boy is an Arsenal Academy material. And I'm still asking myself, how did we let this happen? How did he go? I've looked at him at Valencia. He's one of those number 6. He's one of those defensive midfielders that any team would want to have right now. Very confident on the ball. He's dribbling his lead, receiving the ball in deeper areas, and then turning on the half turn, progressing the ball very well. And he's still very, very young, right? Still very, very young. But look, I wanted Arsenal to sign him, but we just let him go in 2019. We are in 2022. He left Arsenal in 2019. Actually, he was asked about why he left Arsenal, and he said, I wanted to go to a team that really was going to give me game time. I wanted to go to a team that was, really able to believe in me and give me that game time. But I think this is our biggest regret right now, because if we had Yunus Musa in this team, Thomas Partey's injuries would not actually be a problem. It's quite interesting if Valencia could actually listen to us if we went there to try to sign him. If we don't get Danilo in January, if we do not get him, go for Yunus Musa. Probably not want to sign in January. I think Valencia, they're not in a very good situation, but they wouldn't want to let go of their best player in midfield in January. But probably in the summer, if we want a number 6, if we want someone to play in defensive midfield, Yunus Musa is one player to look at. And you've actually had it here first. Arsenal should sign Yunus Musa. If I won't be very surprised if Arsenal, are linked with Yunus Musa in a few days or even in a few months. He's an absolute gem of a footballer. So for me, right now, that is our biggest transfer regret. Unless we let Charlie Patino go to Barcelona, I don't think for now we have anything to worry about in terms of players coming to haunt us back. So I'll see you soon. Hit the like button. And of course, I think we'll be live later to discuss some of these stories and get your reactions and get your thoughts and feelings about them.